Good evening, YouTube. It's Pretty Boy Prepper coming back to you again. Tonight we're going to talk about the top 20 bartering items for SHTF. Yeah, we all got to get prepared for this day. And when this day does come, hopefully you're in a position where you have got your preps in order and you're able to actually trade. Because trade is actually what keeps our world moving. So to be able to trade and be able to exchange goods that you have with your neighbors or something that someone else may have that you may need and vice versa is definitely going to make good for relationship and opportunities for rebuilding. So let's talk about it. Let's go and get started. Let's go. Okay, getting started. Number one for our list is going to start with ammunition. Ammunition, of course, if you got a gun, I would recommend having just maybe 2 to 3 calibers that you really want to stockpile because you're gonna want to make sure that you have enough for yourself, all the guns you have, and if you plan to use it for barter, you just have enough that you'll be able to use just in case there is a need that's going to be required and you do have enough to spare. I recommend probably 9mm number one, 223 if you have an AR, and probably shotgun shells. A lot of people want to say 22 right now. It's so hard to come by. I wouldn't even recommend trying to search for it or pay triple the price for it. So I won't recommend a 22, but I will recommend a shotgun because it is more versatile than a 22. Whereas you can shoot slugs and shoot big game, or you can shoot birdshot and shoot small game. So it is a much more versatile weapon. So number one is going to be ammunition. Number two is going to be antibiotics. Antibiotics, honestly, folks, is something that could save your life. Antibiotics will definitely prevent or, heal any kind of infections. You could very well have a cut that gets infected, cause you to get sick, pneumonia sets in, you're gone because there is no doctors or anyone that can assist you. Who knows what the situation may be? Um, 3 days or 30 days or maybe a year. So you definitely want to make sure you have at least the bare necessities. Antibiotics is going to be one of them. Number three, books. For yourself, for your family, your children. If there is, say, no electricity for an extended amount of time, to at least be able to pick up a book, entertain yourself, to keep you from going crazy, it's truly going to be a benefit for you. I mean, it's going to definitely help you keep your sanity. And in a SHTF type situation, nothing is going to be more valuable to you than your sanity. So, books is going to definitely be at number three on our list. Now, keep in mind this list is in no order. So from greatest to least, so no, ammunition is not number one, and books is not number three. But these are all important things. So it's going to be 20 important things that you'll find on this list. So let's keep going. Number four is going to be water. You're going to definitely want to put water at the very top of your list, or very close to the top, because it's going to be very important in the saving your life. Water, I would definitely want to stockpile it. Stockpile it so whereas you have where you can share, where you do have ways to catch water in the event of rain, just to replenish your stockpile, as well as assisting your neighbors to be able to do so as well. So that'll help them from trying to come and take yours in the dead of the night. So keep that in mind. Water, as well as water purifiers as well. That'll also be a benefit as well, because you never know when you may need to use that purifier, or maybe a life straw, just to make sure that you're able to, secure healthy, clean water in the event that there is none. So, number four, we have water. Next is going to be number five. Now, number five is going to be calcium hypochlorite. Now, a lot of people are asking me, what is that? Well, bleach is going to be very good for a number of different reasons, and you can research all the things that bleach is good for, but it has a shelf life, and the shelf life on it is not very long. I mean, if you stockpile it, at some point you want to start using it because it's not going to be good after a certain amount of time. Its potency is going to be diminished. So if you have calcium hypochlorite, all you have is it going to be in powder form. All you have to do is add water to at the right measurements, of course. Boom, you have bleach, and this powder can last almost indefinitely. So as long as you have it secured, say in a bucket, mylar bag, properly sealed in a cool, dark place, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. And like I said, it could last for you indefinitely. So keep this in mind. This is a good way to make sure you have ways to, to clean things that are disinfect as well as purify water. So again, number 5, calcium hypochlorite is what we got. Another very good bartering tool or item that's going to be on this list, and I think that everyone may have this on their list. That's going to be cigarettes. I myself, I do not smoke. And no, there are no smokers in my family. Pretty wife prepper and pretty kid preppers, they don't smoke. So for us to have a case full of cartons of cigarettes, that's going to help us be able to find that one person that is in dire need of a smoke, is willing to give me something that's of value to them, or at least it will be to me, for me to be able to provide them with that vice that they so desperately need. So number 6 is going to be cigarettes. Number 7 is going to be coffee. Just like cigarettes, you have those people that just have to have a cup of coffee to start their day. Some people just have to have a cigarette to drive to work, or just even use the bathroom. Some things are just a need, and coffee is one of those things. So I want to make sure I'm able to provide that and have that available in my stockpile of my preps, just in case I have to use that or have something of value to someone that can provide me with something that I may need to be able to satisfy the needs and desires of my family. So number 7 is going to be coffee. Number 8 is feminine hygiene products. This is very, very important, guys, because there's nothing more aggravating or upsetting for your wife to know that she is not clean, and for her not to have the proper necessities, especially in regards to feminine hygiene products. This is not going to be a comfortable way for her to feel and live. So that's to keep things well within um, your home during the time of an SHTF type situation, and keep the cleanliness of the area well as well. Definitely make sure that you have proper feminine hygiene products for all the women in your household. And women, of course, do not allow this to slip your mind, because this is going to be very important. And I'm sure you won't definitely let that slip and forget those. So, number 8, definitely keep in mind feminine hygiene products. Number 9 is going to be flour. Flour is super important if you plan on baking or cooking or securing food. If you do not have all the preps and all the cases of food, but you have a lot of flour, you can find ways to make food. Bread, preferably, whether that be um, the regular bread that you find that's in loaves, or unleavened bread. But bread is definitely a good source of carbohydrates to help keep you going and help keep a meal on your stomach. So flour is going to definitely be an item that I would definitely keep in my stockpile, and I could definitely use as a tool for barter if need be. That's number 9. It's going to be flour. Number 10 is freeze dried food. Some people may go so far as to call them MREs. I won't say MREs because they're not necessarily ready to eat, but you add just warm water, in a few moments they'll be ready to go, and you can't eat them in there. So in most cases, pretty tasty. Some of the military issue ones may not be as tasty as some of the ones that you may find, so like a Mountain House, etc. But you definitely want to be able to have some of these on hand just to keep um, from trying to cook or burn any kind of gas, anything like that. You can just add a little warm water or water, period, just to keep your preps at a minimum of use and not overexerting your stock. So number 10 is going to be freeze dried food. Number 11 is going to be power. Yes, I said power. I mean, you may not be Alabama, Georgia, or Florida Power or any of those companies that generate electricity for the states, but you may have yourself a generator. A generator is definitely going to be an excellent source of energy. Say, for instance, your neighbor needs to charge a laptop or charge a cell phone. Just having a way of generating power is going to be great. And for yourself, if you have a refrigerator full of food you don't want to go to waste, or you have a deep freezer full of food you don't want to go to waste, having that availability for you to keep that particular appliance going until things can turn around and get better, that is going to be excellent for you. So I recommend having a generator and having some form of rechargeable solar devices that'll definitely be able to assist you in just sustaining some level of life until the situation changes, and hopefully it changes for the better more sooner than later. So number 11 is going to be power. Number 12 is going to be sugar. Sugar is very important. Sugar can give you that burst and boost of energy that you may need just to get some things done. If you got to do some moving, some shaking, some building, some making, definitely glass, even just nothing but sugar water. Sugar in a glass of water or poured into a bottle of water, shaken up, can definitely give you a burst of energy, and it definitely helps calm the sweet tooth. So a lot of us have those, especially if we enjoy candies or brownies, cookies, anything like that to help ease that craving. Sugar can definitely do that if used properly. So, number 12 on our list of the top 20 bartering items for SHTF is going to be sugar. Number 13, and this really, I'm not sure if I really needed this one on here or not, but I'm going to go with it. That's ice. Um, Ice is going to be very important. I mean, just in case you have that person that decides to become a prepper, that decides to go ahead and move forward with prepping, decides to have things available for them if they need it, but just doesn't have all the skills of how to do certain things. Like, for instance, how to preserve meat without keeping it cold. A lot of people don't know how to do that, and for those who don't, being able to have ice and able to keep that food, though that meat especially cold, is gonna be very important. So being able to not have food to go to waste, especially in a time where you don't know when your situation is gonna turn around, you definitely want to make sure you have ice. So I think ice is gonna be an excellent choice under the circumstances, and with ice being the next one on our list, number 13, we're going to go on to number 14. And 14 is liquor or spirits. Yes, a lot of people don't drink. And if you have an SHTF type situation, the last thing you should be thinking about is getting drunk or getting intoxicated. But you know what? Depending on how bad the situation is, if you can just take a few moments of your time to release that anger or that stress from your mind just by having a drink to relax yourself or to ease your mind, trust me, I'm sure that would be an excellent barter tool. Someone is going to need to be able to get over some of the stress they're dealing with. Someone is going to be having trouble, and not only that, it can be used as a way of sterilizing things. Say for instance, you have um, vodka. It has certain medicinal purposes. So alcohol is going to definitely be a benefit. So liqueur is going to be something that you can think of as a part of your preps. And even if you have the ice, nice glass, and the liqueur, you're almost home. You don't even know it. So number 14 is liquor slash alcohol. Number 15 are going to be pain relievers. Now, I didn't match these with the antibiotics for a reason. Pain relievers are going to be your Advils, your Tylenols, your aspirins, your ibuprofen, etc. These are truly going to be necessities because dealing with pain when you can't get any help or can't jump up and go to the hospital or to the doctor is not going to be fun. So to have pain relievers on hand to assist you with dealing with that level of stress and that pain, despite what it is, because you could easily fall and twist your ankle or break a bone or just have a unnecessary headache for no reason. These type of painkillers kept in your stockpile, available for you if you and your family need them, as well as having an overflow for those who may be able to use them as well, and also be able to provide you with something you need in return. This is going to be an excellent bartering tool. So I definitely recommend painkillers as number 15. Number 16 is going to be propane. In the event that you don't live in an area where there's prevalent gas, or say for instance the lights are out, the grid is down, um, and the gas is off as well, because most of our electricity, our utilities all together are all ran by some level of electricity. So if there is no more gas being pumped to the residents, then you having propane and a way to still cook, a way to still boil water, and a way to do these things without having to go build a fire um, on the ground is definitely going to save you and give you still a little bit added ways to salvaging your quality of life. When those days come when you run out, then by all means you would have to take those measures. But until then, having the proper preps is definitely going to help you keep your sanity, especially in a time of SHTF. So number 16 was propane. Number 17, and we're coming close to the end, but number 17 is going to be salt. No one likes to taste any kind of food that does not have any flavor. Salt is that item that gives almost any dish flavor. So if you have food that you're trying to prepare for yourself, for your family, if you're preparing in the dark or you're preparing without electricity, even still, adding a little salt to this item can make this food better for your enjoyment, if nothing else, than just being able to have a tasty meal, even though the circumstances have changed. So, salt is definitely going to be good to have, especially as a bartering tool. It's very inexpensive. You can have a multitude of it and keep it in a great place and still have plenty for barter. So, number 17 is going to be salt. Now, some people remember this item, the next item, number 18, and some people don't. But for those who don't, you will truly wish you did, because it is one of the top and most important of the most important bartering tools that you'll have on your top 20 list. And your list doesn't have to be 20; it could be 10, or your list could be 100 top things you need for bartering. But on my list today, we got 20, and number 18 on 20 is going to be toilet paper. I'm gonna let that sink in for a moment. Most of us live in the 21st century. This is 2015. Have never not used toilet paper. Have never used anything other than toilet paper. So for those of you that have not been able to transition into something different or into a lifestyle of not having that luxury, it's not going to be an easy transition. It's going to be very difficult. So I definitely recommend, almost with the water, is to have the necessary amount of TP for you, your family, and if you do think that you can possibly spare any overflow for a neighbor. But make sure that if you're bartering, that they have something in return that's going to be equally of value to you as well. So no, we don't give away those type of things willy-nilly. So number 18 is going to be toilet paper. Number 19, gasoline. Gasoline is truly going to be worth its weight in gold, especially if there is an SHTF type situation. If you need to power a generator, you're going to need gasoline. If you need to take something somewhere with a vehicle, you're going to definitely need gasoline for your vehicle. If you find yourself at a last minute need to grab your bug out bags and go and bug out, you're going to definitely need gasoline. So gasoline is going to be very important to have at least that in your stockpile. Now, in your stockpile, gasoline has a shelf life, so you want to continuously keep this in rotation, but definitely always have it on hand when the need arises. So number 19 is going to be gasoline. And last but not least, this was going to go with some of the other things that we have on our list. That's going to be yeast. For those who have the flour, for those who have the water, for those who have all the other items that's going to be in this list, if you plan to do any cooking, especially making bread, yeast is going to be excellent because no one's going to think of it. But even 2,000 years ago, they had bread. So if you are looking at all the canned goods you have and all the other preps that you have, a lot of us are very familiar with having bread, and a bread meal is definitely going to stretch any other meal. So if you're able to keep that readily available and have that a part of each meal, that'll definitely keep you off from um, losing any kind of nourishment and finding yourself suffering from malnutrition. So I think yeast is going to be excellent for those purposes. So what you have here, folks, is my view of 20 things that I think I want to have in my stockpile that I think that I could use for barter. This may not be yours. You may have a few things on here that you agree with, some that you will take off. But hey, that's okay. I think that I can make any of these work, and I think that I can make them work for anybody else. So I think that we can talk about it. I could very well remove a couple things. I'm also thinking about it right now as we speak. But definitely, if you got any questions, by all means, put it in the comment box. Let's talk about it. I want to thank you for watching this video, taking the time to look at what I thought about the 20 things that I would use in a SHTF type situation for barter. So these are some things that I keep in my stockpile and in my preps. So again, let me know what you think. This is Pretty Boy Prepper. Just talking about what I'm talking about. Let you know what I think. I'm out.